How you doing, folks? Jack Cronin here again, episode 4 of All Things Football. Joining me here now is League of Ireland referee Alan Patchell. So Alan's here now. Alan, thanks for coming on.
No problem at all. Thanks very much for having me, Jack.
No problem at all, mate. How's things?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just trying to get on with things, working
Yeah,
away and training and stuff like that. So
difficult times. You're kept busy anyway, yeah?
kept busy. Yeah, I'm still working full time and still training, doing as much training as possible. So busy times, but I'm still just happy to be able to get on with it. The kind of way.
Yeah, this is it. We're all in the same boat, I suppose. We'll get cracking. The start of your career, well, not your career, I suppose, but how did you get into football? How did that come about, like your playing days and stuff?
Yeah, I suppose like anyone else, you probably start at your local club, and it goes like that. I think at the time I was doing summer leagues up in Drimna Castle, with a team called Castle Celtic. I think it was about 7 or 8 at that stage, and from the summer leagues, then they had started a team at under 7, under 8, and
Yeah,
the manager, I think, had left within a week of the team starting, and of course, I suppose whoever's the closest person kind of takes over then. So it was my dad actually that ended up taking over the team just so it wouldn't fold.
yeah,
So that was my start kind of into football, and that team stayed together right up until under 16s. So we had a good run, that kind of way.
yeah.
When I hit kind of when I was 16 and around that age, then I made the jump into senior football. So I
Okay.
joined Castle Celtic senior team. So I was playing the Leinster Senior League at 16. So that was
Which is quite young. You don't see that often.
no, it was a baptism of fire, if you want to call it that. But
Yeah.
that was great, that kind of way. It was an eye opener anyway. But listen, we had a great team, great lads, and we had a great coach as well at the time, Tony McCarthy from Walkinstown. There he was, and he's gone on then to be really successful down in Wexford in the Wexford League with
Oh
with
yeah,
Gorey
I heard of
Rangers.
him,
Yeah, so he was really a great coach.
yeah.
But I suppose the great thing about that team as well, like a lot of my friends actually play for that team, so
Yeah, yeah.
you know yourself, like playing with your mates every week, training and playing matches,
It's
like was
most enjoyable type of thing.
exactly like it was fantastic. You know what I mean? Just
Mm.
training, going to matches, and geez, everything else that comes with that, like great memories.
Yeah, good
So
stuff.
we were kind of based around the lower leagues, Leinster Senior League, and we won the league and stuff like that, which was really a great memory. So
Hmm.
um, it was great. I suppose after that, then a couple of seasons, I mean, you kind of go and test yourself then at a higher level. So I wanted to play. I always kind of wanted to test myself playing intermediate football. So
Yeah.
I went up and signed for time in Celtic from Tala. They were in 1B in the Leinster Senior League on Sunday.
Okay.
Again, great experience. Really enjoyed it, playing against some great players. I suppose at the time, all the intermediate divisions are really, really competitive. Like any
Yeah.
team could be any team. I suppose now you can see a bit of a wider kind
Yeah.
of range in terms of
There's a
teams.
big gap
But
there, like.
yeah, definitely. But at that time, it was really, really close in all the divisions. So again, I think I was there for 2 seasons. Really great time. Then I got the offer to sign for Rathcoole Boys. So at the time, they had really great facilities up in
Yeah.
Rathcoole, and I suppose they really were a real community club as well. Like they had so many teams, and it was a real community feel. It was like a big family up there. Like, and it
Yeah.
was again great experience. We won the league up there. Fantastic, like great group of lads and great facilities, great people and stuff. But so I was I had 2 seasons there, and I said I got the offer to sign for Garda then. So I went over to Westminstown, signed for the Guards, and again, great facilities, great people, everything was fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, they just always seemed to struggle to get numbers out there for some reason. I never
Yeah.
knew why, never understood it, because the facilities are, they're second to none out there with the swimming pool and
Hmm.
gym and stuff that they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much me playing career
Okay.
before I
So,
made the
so
move.
what age were you when you kind of stopped playing or finished up then, Al?
I, I suppose I was still playing and refereeing when I first started refereeing. So
Okay.
I really kind of made the decision in around 21, 22,
Okay.
to completely stop playing and concentrate on refereeing.
Okay. So then that's moving on then. It's kind of me question. How does referee kind of come about? Like, how was it? Do you just turn around and say, or was it through a friend, or how did it come about?
believe me, I never thought I'd be a referee, or I never thought I'd be anywhere near a referee course.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that ever appealed to me, or even when when I was playing or going to watch matches, I
Hmm.
never took notice to the referee. It never made any impact on me. Like, don't come from
Hmm.
a family of referees or anything like that. But when it was kind of at Garda at that stage, I'd fallen out of love with the game. I wasn't enjoying training, wasn't enjoying matches or anything like that, and I didn't know why. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And one day I was just sitting at home. My mum says, "Geez, why don't you try a referee course?" And I was like, "A referee course? What are you mad?" And I did the course anyway, and it opened my eyes. It gave me a different view
Yeah.
to football, and like it really kind of reignited me love of the game. Because
What did you think? Like, what is that down to? Like, would you say?
I don't know, like
It,
it
just
was a
from a
different,
different kind of perspective, or
exactly, like it just gave me a different view, the way the game is played, the way the game is refereed, the way different people view the game differently, and it just, whatever it was, it just clicked with me there and then, so it was, obviously, I think I made the right move at the time. I was questioning it, but it
looking
worked
back on
out
it now?
well. Looking back, it was the best decision I made. So I think I have a lot to thank for
Your
mom
man has
for
a big role to
watching me.
play in
My
that one,
dad,
huh?
always listen to your mommy, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Good old Julie. So did you go down the route of the FAI beginner course, or what did you do?
Yeah, I went to the beginners course. It was in the Oscar Trainer Centre. That would have been 12 years ago now. I did the beginners course. I was in the Oscar Trainer. A referee, an ex-FIFA referee called John Ferry, presented the course.
Yeah.
So we went out there. It was a weekend course. Yeah, you go out and basically he goes through laws of the game and different scenarios, and you do a laws of the game exam. You do practical works. So he'll take us out onto a pitch and he'll go through different scenarios with us as well. So it's kind of, I wouldn't call it a crash course, but like
Yeah.
nothing really prepares you for what you're going to get into when you're going out to
Yeah,
do a
exactly.
game. But it's a good insight to get a good base.
Yeah. So then for anyone I suppose that is a could be in a similar kind of shoes to you, would you recommend that to anyone who could be like kind of on the fence about thinking, oh, will I do a referee course or what?
I think for me, I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. Like, and I'd recommend it to anybody, whether that's male, female, currently playing, maybe
Hmm.
people who have just stopped playing and they're not sure what to do. They want to go coaching or they want to go whichever. But
Yeah.
um, I definitely think even if you're a player, and not that you're struggling or anything like that, but if you're a player and for you're just looking for a different perspective, I really think it helped me, and I feel like it could help a lot of people as well. But definitely, if you want to be involved in the game still, and coaching isn't the route that you're going to go, which is it isn't for a lot of people, or
Hmm.
different routes, whether it's administration in football clubs or anything like that, or in general football, to be involved in the game at whatever level, whether it's DDSL, Leinster Senior
Hmm.
League, League of Ireland, whichever it may be, it's definitely something I'd recommend.
Good stuff. So you come out of that course then. What's the next step? Do you go refereeing underage, or what happened?
Yeah, like we came out of the course kind of not really knowing the way it was. I know I was still playing at that stage when I did the course, so I suppose I knew I didn't want to referee senior football because I was still in and home whether I was playing or anything like that. So I got sent into the DDSL, which was an experience anyway. Like my first game was under six. Now at the time, under 16 Premier was probably the top division around.
Yeah, it's probably like
Um,
under 17 League of Ireland now. Like in
yeah, like
comparison, maybe.
all the top players were kind of
Yeah.
around there, and they were playing in and around those divisions. But I remember I went out, I forgot my watch. I didn't take down the score. I forgot what offside was. I just took a total blanket before this game, and my dad was at the game, and thank God he had the time on the watch and he'd taken the score down.
Yeah.
But that was my route into it, like in schoolboy football, and like that brings its own challenges as well, I suppose. Like you're not just dealing with players, as you know, like there's
Mhm.
parents who have such an impact on schoolboy
Yeah,
football.
exactly. Yeah.
Um, but listen, I mean, it was a great starting point for me. I learned so much, and again, like I suppose it's like everything really. If you have people that are willing to help you and willing to give you advice, it makes that transition from starting to actually doing things a lot easier.
Yeah, good stuff. That's very insightful now, just in terms of like coming out and going ref and DDSL football, and even when you mentioned the parents there as well, because I've obviously kind of experienced it myself, even from
You
playing and
dabbled,
stuff as
yeah.
well. So you're refereeing then for just say a few months. Then was there a certain stage that you realised that you really liked it, or you found that you're really good at it, and you thought like you could progress, or what was the situation there?
I think at the time it might have made it a bit easier for me, like because as I said to you, I was playing with Garda at the time, and I wasn't really loving me time like playing football. I don't think it would have mattered what club or whatever like that, but I just wasn't loving playing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of made the decision a bit easier. And when I kind of seen people who I knew were progressing, and I kind of heard whispers of the School of Excellence and what that was about, at the time I was like, oh yeah, that might be something I'd be interested in, you know. I remember, I suppose the first time I applied for the School of Excellence, I didn't get it, you know. So that probably gave me a bit more hunger to say, I want to progress at this. I want to give it more. So that's what I did. I mean, that really was the fact that I could see a route to progression. That kind of made me decision then that I wanted to stop playing and just and go for it, kind of refereeing, you know.
Yeah, good stuff. It's just that full kind of focus, I suppose. Then, so you're reffing then underage DDSL football. Is the next stage, or whatever you call it, to go senior level, like as in, or just is that how the step up the ladder goes? You kind of have is to go in that direction.
Yeah, like I mean, if you do your beginners course, I mean, not necessarily you have to go straight into schoolboy football. I mean, you can start at senior football if you want.
Mm-hmm.
If schoolboy football isn't something that you want to do, then that's absolutely fine. You know, you can go wherever
Yeah.
you want, wherever you're needed. But for me, I wanted that pyramid system where I started off in schoolboy football, like kind of my basics, where it was I was refereeing one football, small sided games, and to kind of get the bases and work my way up. When I felt then that, not that I wasn't getting challenged, because you constantly getting challenged at DDSL level or whatever level it is, but I felt that in my own personal progression, I wanted to be dealing with adults. I want to be dealing with 22 adults on the pitch. I want to be challenged myself to see if I was
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I was lucky, really, really lucky. I mean, when I did transfer over to the Leinster Senior League, I had fantastic help and mentors like Tony Carney, who's still in the league now. He's in administration in the league. He helped me massively there, you know. Just by trusting me really, you know, and put me into games.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, it's probably not the easiest thing when you don't know a lot about somebody and you're willing to put them into, you know, big games in the Leinster Senior League.
Yeah.
So I'll be eternally grateful to Tony for that, and obviously all the people that are in the league, referees and everybody, you know, they massive help when I started there, and it's that's generally the way the progression worked for me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've already mentioned the School of Excellence, so you've came through that, which is great. For anyone, I suppose, that's listening, do you mind telling us how you got into it, and maybe a little bit about it then as well?
Yeah, as I said to you, I had got put forward for the first School of Excellence, and I didn't get it. Basically, I wasn't ready, wasn't committed enough to refereeing at that stage. So when I didn't get it at that stage, I was like, Jesus, I'm not. This isn't going to happen to me again, because I was so disappointed. And at the time I felt like I'd put everything into it, but I had no idea how much I needed to put into it
Mm-hmm.
to get forward, you know. So I mean, the way it works is you get put forward by your league. So you might have your observer who's in the league. He'll put you forward. After that, then you'd have FAI observers who will come and look at you for over the course of 12 months, and they'll make the decision then whether you're going to go forward. At the end of that process, then you'll go forward for exams and fitness tests. So all going well, you go through the process, fitness tests, exams, and interview as well. It was kind of like a presentation I had to do in my interview. So it was daunting enough, and I suppose I hadn't got a lot of experience in terms of talking in front of people at that stage. So it was difficult, but I was lucky enough that we got through that. So the process then, when you go through, it's based on a 2-year modular course. So it's based in Abbottstown. So we use the pitches out there, and obviously all the conference areas and stuff like that. So we go out there, and it's a modular course. So it's basically all aspects of refereeing. So it could be the mental aspects of refereeing, fitness, laws of the game, match preparation, team tactics, you name it. Basically, it really goes through everything, and it's the aim of the School of Excellence process. I suppose it's to make better referees. There's no guarantee that when you go to the School of Excellence that you're going to be on the League of Ireland panel or you're going to go anywhere else. The aim is to make better referees. So when these referees go back to their leagues, it improves the standard of refereeing. But over the 2-year course, it was so full on. It was so professional. It was stressful, but it really was a great experience. Gained so much knowledge, and I suppose when you're in that type of environment with people and everyone has the same end goal, and it's competitive enough. The kind of way it's exactly like playing in a team. Everybody's competitive, so they want to get the games, and they want everyone wants what everyone else is vying for. So I suppose it's a case where you make great friends from that. Really, I know I've made lifelong friends from the School of Excellence process because everyone understands each other, what they're going through, what they need to do, because yourself, everyone has their own struggles.
Yeah. So
it was a case that group and that environment was always willing to help each other, even though we were really competitive. So it was a really great experience. We passed out through that. And then I was lucky enough. Then I got called up to the League of Ireland panel then at that stage. So it really worked out well for me, and couldn't speak highly enough of the tutors and stuff like that in the FEI. It's run by Ian Stokes, again, former FIFA referee. He was unlucky. He got a bad in kind of at the top of his refereeing, so he had to retire prematurely at that stage. But he's got so much knowledge, so much experience, and he's just passing that onto ref to show potential and who are good enough to progress.
Yeah, good stuff. You covered a lot there, even just talking about people, I suppose, having struggles outside of football, how kind of important it is, like connection through sports, not only just to be your players, like even it's good to hear like how close and stuff like referees can become then as well, like that togetherness as well. That's good that you covered. Moving on then, as time develops, you're kind of, I suppose, as you mentioned, you get put onto the League of Ireland panel. How difficult is it, I say moving from reffing an LSL game, say Crumlin against Malahide, to moving into, you could say, I don't know, a top division clash in first division? Like, I suppose the standard then is higher, the importance of games is higher, there's probably more attendances there. Like, how actually difficult is it?
Yeah, I think, I suppose when I first went up to League of Ireland panel, it was 2016, 2017. I spent that entire first season as assistant referee. So that was, I suppose, in the Leinster Senior League, I'd done my kind of fair share of assistant refereeing. So when I went up to the panel, first of all, it was mostly assistant. At the end of that season, I got my chance to referee my first game. It was at Lone Town versus UCD in the first division. And listen, it was a great experience. It was a proud moment, and for me, for the family and all that, like, it was fantastic. I suppose in terms then of different matches where different levels and stuff like that, personally myself, I mean, you can see the game itself might be quicker. The first division is quicker, or the Premier Division is a lot quicker. In terms of Leinster Senior League, there's so many quality players in the Leinster Senior League. Like, the quality of football is top. The kind of way.
Yeah.
There's some really, really good players. It's just that the speed is quicker. The intensity might be quicker. In terms of the crowd, I mean, I personally, you can feel the intensity in the crowd. You can feel that it's a good atmosphere. You can hear everything. But in terms of decision making and stuff like that, you're kind of judging each decision on its merits as best you can. So you know that the crowd is there, you know that there's a buzz, there's an atmosphere, but you're just focused. You're that focused on the job at hand. It's not affecting you. If anything, it's pushing you along. You know, the kind of way. It's hard to explain, but you're just judging each individual incident on its merit.
Yeah. Question I want to ask then, like, as a player for anyone, it could be, I don't know, any position, games happening. It could be any game of importance. To draw, say 0-0, it's your fault. You made a mistake. You kind of cost the team, and kind of that sense of you feel kind of, I don't know, really down or worthless because you feel you've made the mistake and you've kind of let the team down. That's from a player's perspective. So we want to know, as a referee, you have kind of big importance on the game. What's it kind of like, I suppose? It could be same scenario, really tight game. Could be, I don't know, a penalty decision or an offside. What's it kind of like when you feel like you've made a split decision? You're not kind of 100% on it, but you've given the decision and you kind of feel like, oh, I've cost this team the game here, or, you know, you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, totally. I suppose, like, we as referees and me personally, like, we're our own worst critics. You know what I mean? Like, every decision we make, we're analysing that decision. And if it's not, like, obviously footage and stuff like that is so readily available for every game now. So, like, there's no hiding place. So if it's a case where, you know, I've made a mistake, I'll always say, I'll hold my hands up. Listen, I made a mistake there.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I'll always explain the reason why I get the decision. So whatever the reason may be, I'll explain my rationale. I'll explain why I get the decision, my angle, all the reason why I get this particular decision. And I suppose at that stage, you've just got to hope that people accept it. As I said, we're our own worst critics, you know, and you're going out. I mean, obviously, you're not going out to make mistakes. You're not going out to make enemies or anything like that. But you're going out to give an honest performance and a professional performance. And I think all the other factors that come into that, whether it's communication, you know, management and stuff like that, honesty is a big one as well. If you can hold your hands up and admit when you've made that mistake, I think people respect that a lot more. And in the long run, people will respect you then a lot more as well, you know?
Yeah, good stuff. You mentioned then you obviously came out of the School of Excellence, and you mentioned the UEFA core then as well. Do you want to speak to us a little bit about that? I don't know kind of a lot of information about that, and I suppose, yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I suppose UEFA core it's a lot like the School of Excellence here at home, but it's kind of multiplied by 1,000, and the intensity is multiplied by 1,000 and stuff like that. I suppose I got selected for UEFA core program just about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So I was coming off the back of a good season in the first division. It was my first season in the first division. So I kind of was on a run of gains and stuff like that. Things were going really well. I was confident. I was kind of at my fittest, what I thought at that stage, at my fittest. So things were going really well when I got the call that the FAI were putting me forward as the referee to represent Ireland at UEFA core with two other guys, Chris Campbell and Conor Fitzgibbon, one from Dublin and one from Roscommon. So we had all come up onto the panel at the same time from the School of Excellence. So the lads were kind of mates already, you know, that kind of way. So it was transition kind of going from the domestic School of Excellence to the European School of Excellence, you know. Basically the way it works is, I mean, we go over to UEFA HQ in Switzerland. So it's where they do all the draws and stuff like that for all the European competitions. We went over there for a 2-week period in May to start off with. So it was about a year ago now at this stage. And again, it's a modular course as well, but it's basically refereeing from 7 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. So over that 2 weeks, it's really intense. and whether again fitness, law of the game, and we did some VAR work. Every aspect you can consider, but it's more pushed towards an elite level.
Okay.
As opposed to your domestic and just improving it as a referee. It's the whole team. So it's specialized assistant referee coaches, specialized referee coaches. All these guys, they've all refereed Champions League finals, European Championship finals, and stuff like that. So their experience kind of just knows no bounds, you know.
Yeah.
So that was basically, it was at that level of intensity what we're looking for. And when we went over, fitness was such a massive emphasis on it. We did fitness tests, we did every type of fitness test you can imagine. Basically, you're told you're at this level, you have to get to this level. So I suppose it's a fear factor because, you know, you're representing yourself, you're representing your family, your country, you're representing your colleagues as well. And you don't want to go home and, you know, feel like you've let people down. So you went home, you work hard, and you do what you have to do. When we went back then in October, again, more fitness tests, more laws of the game, everything like that. And, you know, a lot of it, you know, the emphasis is on, listen, you've got to pass this exam, you've got to pass this fitness test if you want to be successful here. So that's what we did. It's intense. It's everything that goes with that. We also got the chance to referee a couple of games when we were over there. We refereed one in France and one in Switzerland. We refereed in the French Third Division and the Swiss Third Division as well, which is, again, fantastic experience, different cultures, different language, different, you name it, you know, that kind of way. It was just completely different. But again, great experience and great to share it with people as well, who you kind of worked your way up with, you know. Then within that then as well, we got a chance to referee in Latvia in the Premier Division. So again, another great experience, different culture, different type of football, everything different. You know, the stadium completely different than anything you're used to. The supporters are very intense. They might be small, but loud. So again, it's just kind of adding more experience onto the little bit that you have, and it's massive, you know, that kind of way. So again, it was so far for me, like in terms of refereeing, it's my greatest achievement, you know, that kind of way. To be representing the country at that level, it was fantastic. It was a memory that, you know, will last a lifetime.
Yeah, excellent. That's very insightful now, I have to say, especially going over to Switzerland and the facilities and all there that you mentioned. Like, and even some of the referees that you mentioned there as well. Like, but hats off to you now. It's something to be proud of.
It's a kind of surreal experience when you know who's been in the doors of UEFA. You know, the kind of way you're standing there and you're walking through the doors, and as you walk in, you can kind of see all the trophies and stuff like that, and you're just like, it really hits home of where you are. You know what I mean? You look around and it's just, everything is perfect. There's endless amounts of football pitches and they're all pristine, and you know, it's just truly an amazing experience, humbling, really. You know.
Yeah, that's class. To be fair play to you. For those referees out there at the moment, could be refereeing in DDSL, Leinster Senior, or whatever it may be, and they're looking probably when you were at that stage to kind of climb the ladder and move forward. What advice would you give to them?
I suppose a difficult one. I think there's probably a couple of things that I've kind of learned over the years since going from schoolboy football to Leinster Senior League and so on. But I think patience, I think, is one massive one. You know what I mean? I think you have people who kind of, maybe it's just the kind of attitude that exists now, is that, you know, I want it and I want it now, and if I don't get it now, then, you know, that's not good enough. Like, I mean, you hear it all the time with players. Even I've mates who are still playing, and, you know, they've lads who come down to the team and they'll say after 2 weeks, oh geez, I haven't got a game, I'm leaving. You know, people aren't really willing to put the time in. So I definitely say be patient, because, you know, you're going to be disappointed. Like, prepare yourself for disappointment of not getting games and someone else getting a game ahead of you, because it will happen.
Yeah.
You know, consistently, it's going to happen throughout the course of your refereeing career. So it's best that you prepare for that. So patience would definitely be one. I think another thing is luck. I think massive amount of luck I had, in terms of people giving me opportunities, in terms of people taking a shine to me. just give me an opportunity and give me advice, and it was just luck that I met these people and looked that I was in the place to speak to them and take their advice. What else I could say is, control the things that are in your control. So it's like in terms of refereeing, your fitness is in your control. Your
Yeah.
knowledge of the laws of the game is in your control. Your management of players is in your control. Your communication skills are in your control. All these things that you can be constantly working on is going to help you in the game, and I think just control the controllables and work on yourself, and like good things will happen. If you're putting the work in, good things will happen.
Yeah.
You just got to keep on going and be patient. It's not easy to do at the time, but you just got to keep on working and setting short-term goals, long-term goals, and just keep ticking the boxes.
Yeah. That's a very good thing now that you covered there, just in terms of like control and what you have control of. I think that's kind of very important for anyone that is listening, and that can go across all boards, like not even in sport.
Yeah,
So it's good that you did cover that. You've been great with your time so far. I'm just gonna ask a few questions and we'll wrap it up.
yeah.
What's your best memory as a referee?
Best memory. I suppose there's a couple of great memories. I suppose recently, with the PFEI award last season, the referee of the year. I think personally that was a fantastic accolade to receive.
Yeah.
Really unexpected, and was really grateful. I think it's, even though it was a personal accolade, I think it was a team award, because I don't think that I could do what I do without the team around me. And I suppose on the wider scale, then, like the panel of referees around who are fantastic, like the more experienced guys who have been around quite a while, they're always willing to give great advice. You know what I mean? Nobody's out to stick a knife in your back or anything like that. Like it's a real positive group, and everyone's there for each other. So I think without the team around me, I definitely wouldn't have got that. So I suppose that's something to say, like, for the group collectively.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good stuff. Kind of similar, I suppose, the next question. But was there any kind of match or occasion that kind of stood out to you that, I don't know, kind of the best kind of game you're involved in or anything of that sort?
Yeah, I suppose, like, you'd look at different games and say, I really enjoyed that game. Like, I suppose that's the first thing, the question you ask yourself when you're coming off the pitch. Like, well, you're hoping that everything went well. But the second
Yeah,
question, maybe,
yeah,
you're asking, did everything go well? But did you enjoy it there? Like, you know what I mean? I suppose recently, when I was away in UEFA Core, we got chances to do games in Latvia and France and Switzerland, as I said. Like, in Latvia, it was a different city, it was a different culture. Everything about it was completely different, and like, it was my first game on television as well. So that brought its own challenges that comes with that, in terms of timing and stuff like that. So it was memorable for a number of reasons, but I just think that it topped off kind of a really, really good year personally and for the team. So I think probably the games that we did away were really memorable.
yeah, excellent. Last two questions then. Best player you've seen as a ref, and then the best ref you've come across, whether it's just throughout, like, kind of, as you said, refing yourself, or the UEFA Core School of Excellence, anything like that.
Yeah, I suppose best player, difficult.
Off the top of your head.
I haven't seen you play, Jack, for a while, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to say you. I suppose. If you're going back towards the schoolboy days, I always remember Conor Masterson. He was playing for Lucan United at the time.
Okay.
I think he's with QPR now. He was a smashing player at under 16 level, under 15 level for Lucan, And they had a really good team at that stage. Really, really good players. Himself and I think Brandon Payne was there as well.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
At that level, they were excellent. Really, really strong. They were probably a lot bigger as well than the rest of the players. So physically, they were kind of bossing, I suppose moving forward then in terms of players, it's just in our league now. Yourself, you're a regular to the games. So, like, the league has become so much more technical. over the last 10, 15 years than what it was, you know. So there's
Yeah.
so many kind of technical footballers there now, you know, over the years. So you had the likes coming forward, the likes of Keith Fatty and stuff like that, and moving forward then kind of into Jack Bourne now. Like, it's kind of been a mould, I think, as those type of players have come forward.
Yeah.
But I suppose I couldn't really pinpoint the player that I think has been the best player I've seen, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely the two guys at schoolboy level, I think they were up there. I'm sure I'm missing out on loads more.
Yeah.
But for me, that was, from memory, they were two really good players, you know. And yourself, of course.
You had to get that one in.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so the ref then.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose best referee is difficult. I mean, as a kind of a...
I suppose even, like, not to rephrase it around it, it can come across as vague, but even someone that you've kind of, you feel that helped you along the way, or you got like a really kind of pinpoint experience from, or anything like that.
Yeah, like, I suppose coming along when you're kind of trying to progress up the ladder and stuff like that, you're really kind of taking any help you can get. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, like, kind of when I first kind of started refereeing, I mean, we had a mentor. He's an observer and an ex-referee, Jerry Bean. Like, he's an international futsal referee. He's refereed, you know, countless futsal cup finals across the world. So he always gave me great advice kind of when I started refereeing. You know, kind of took me under his wing and gave me the best advice that he could. I think as a referee, or, you know, just anywhere, when someone gives you advice, you're probably going to take the good parts and, you know, try and add them to your bow or whatever. And the bad parts he'll push to the side. You know what I mean? But I suppose the thing about Jerry is he always gave me great advice regardless. Like, there's so many great people involved, and like, even now, like, we've so many experienced referees there, like, you know what I mean? Whether it's the FIFA guys who are always willing to help you, or whether it's just the more experienced referees. Like, I suppose we're lucky now. Like, I mean, in our group now, we've a new referee manager, Tomas Conley. He finished up on a panel last season, and he's gone straight into that role. So he's still very close in terms of what people are feeling, what people are thinking, and stuff like that, you know. So it's great to have Tomas there as well, I suppose. And throughout the lockdown and stuff like that, it's been so positive from the FEI as well. I mean, they're constantly engaging with us, whether it's sending out fitness plans. We do 3 Zoom classes a week, which is great. And then
That's excellent.
We're doing our own training in between, and then we're kind of getting sent out match clips to analyze. We're getting sent out laws of the game, kind of quizzes and stuff like that. So there's not a day really that goes by that you're not
thinking about the game and stuff. Yeah,
you're not thinking about, you know, I suppose at the end of the day, I mean, we don't really know when we're going to be back, so we have to be ready, you know. As the players, I mean, it's difficult for everyone, you know, the kind of way, but I suppose the attitude you have to have is we could be back at any stage, and you need to be ready, because if you go out and do a game and, you know, you make that mistake or whatever it is, I guarantee you look back and you'll say, I should have been working harder or whatever it was, you know. Again, we'll do what we usually do, we'll analyse and stuff like that, and go through everything. But I know that was a long-winded answer there to your question, but
I know you answered it. If that's no problem. Yeah, so that's it. Al, thanks for coming on, taking your time out to speak with me, and
no problem.
Let's hope on all fronts football is back, and I hope you're back out there doing what you do best.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, mate.
Take care. All the best.
Bye-bye now.